Are supersets one way of building muscle mass while losing fat? Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Scarlett, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you different types of superset training and how to utilize them, as well as the question of if superset training is right for you. So we'll find out and stay tuned. So what is a superset? It is basically a type of training where you pair one exercise with the other with no rest in between. You only get to take the rest after the two sets of exercise. You can do supersets in a variety of ways. The first is pairing up the antagonist or opposite group of muscles. Example, doing bicep curls with tricep dips. The second way is to do supersets on the same muscle, example, goblet squats with pull throughs. The third is pairing them up with different muscle, example, tricep dips with front squats. Notice that you can also pair different types of exercise, example, pairing compound with a compound, compound with isolation, and two isolation exercises for a superset. And you can also do them pre-workout, during the main workout, or the post-workout. So what does science say? According to Bretano et al. 2015, it is evident that doing supersets on the same group of muscles is better than doing them on different muscle groups because this causes more volume to be done in the workout, which means more gains / hypertrophy. Another article by Jonathan J.S. Weekly et al. Compared athletes who did traditional exercise with 2 minutes rest in between versus supersets versus trisets, which is also like another type of superset except that it is pairing up 3 types of exercises with no rest in between. The results show that the lactate level, which is the source of the muscle burn, increased most in the triset, followed by supersets, then traditional. The creatine, which is the currency of energy in the muscle, decreased most with the highest rate of rated perceived exertion, which means the muscles are really burnt out in the triset group. Also, the cortisol level decreased immediately only for the traditional and supersets group, but this decrease continued throughout the 24-hour for the triset. So from reading all those research articles about triset and superset types of training, it is very obvious that these two types of training is very taxing on your body. However, the question that we're going to answer in this question is, does this mean you can build more muscle? According to a paper by Henselsman et al., it is obvious that shorter resting period does not mean that you are growing more muscle. Athletes in that study did not increase their muscle thickness as much as that of the traditional type of training with enough resting period. However, we also know that these two types of training, and I mean by that is the trisets and supersets with short little resting period, they do cause a lot of muscle damage, especially when you take in account of the time. And as you know, in muscle hypertrophy science, there are 3 things that can lead to muscle hypertrophy. One is muscle damage, although this has not been very clear in the science viewpoint. And another one is mechanical tension. This depends on the exercise that you choose, the tempo that you go, the volume, and the intensity. And the third and the final, most important one is progressively overload. And what I see from this is that superset, they do cause a lot of muscle damage, but this could also interfere with your ability to progressively overload, which is to increase the weight on your muscle or to just make it harder. For example, replacing your double leg squat with a single leg squat. So in a way, these types of training aren't preferential over traditional types of training in terms of building muscle. However, I do find that to be very effective in terms of training in an efficient manner, and especially if you are a pretty new person to the fitness community who just want to grow muscle overall and just be used to the fatigue as a beginner. And the next question we're asking in this video is superset good for losing fat? I find superset training to be somewhat similar to circuit training, where you are doing different exercises in a row and only take rest after each one big chunk of group of exercises. So this is somehow similar, but when it comes to losing fat and losing the calories, it all comes down to the total work done. So if you're still doing the same work done as the traditional style of training, you will be able to lose fat in the same manner. So I wouldn't say that is more effective than the traditional type of training if you are doing that for similar volume, similar intensity, similar number of exercises. However, supersets are very good as a burnout, is what I have found so far, especially for antagonist group of muscles and doing that for compound and isolation, or combining two isolation groups to work together at the end of the workout. That gives your extra burn to your muscle, and especially when I do those, I find that even more like torn up after the workout in a good way, you know. But however, I would not do, especially when combining two compound exercises with a superset, a lot. And if you are an advanced or an intermediate lifter, I would recommend it for doing it only a few days a week. And another important thing to keep in mind is to focus on quality reps, just getting the best use of every rep. And if you are doing a superset, you might just think of finishing it super fast and not really focusing on doing each rep with consistent quality. So I would recommend you to just go for around 5 to 10 reps for each exercises if you are doing supersets. And last but not least, I want to say actually supersets are one of my favorite style of training, even though I said that they do not cause a lot of muscle growth compared to traditional, and they don't cause a lot of fat burn either. However, I do believe that after doing supersets, I feel like I get a lot of stuff done in a workout, and I also feel like my muscles are getting swole more, you know? It's kind of a good feeling. I want to know more about what is going on in the body from a scientific perspective even more. And I also love training with supersets. Let me know what you think for the superset style of training down below. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was informative. So let me know what type of videos you want to watch in the future too. I'll keep the vibes up and high coming your way. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next video.